Hi, it's Darren and welcome to, well, if you're Canadian, you probably know where I am. That lighthouse behind me is one of the most iconic images of Canada, so welcome to Peggy's Cove, Nova Scotia. I'm fortunate to be here on a sunny day. It's windy and cold, but it's not as bad as you might think it is. And this is a really beautiful part of Canada, so if you've never had a chance to come out here, come on out. It's beautiful here, and the people here are like aggressively friendly. They're really, really nice. So my trip to Halifax, I'll explain that in a minute, because this kind of concludes a bit of a cross-Canada tour I've been on. I was in Montreal and Calgary in the last couple of weeks, visiting with some of the top cross-border lawyers and accountants that we work with who support our clients, and we support theirs, so it was good to go out and spend a bit of time with them one-on-one. So glad I made those trips. But my trip to Halifax was actually for family. I have a cousin who was fighting cancer, and she and my late father growing up were like brother and sister, so really close. And I was hoping to come out and spend time with her and support her in her fight, but sadly I was a little too late. So I made the trip, and I've been spending some time with family, and a lot of hugs and kisses and just everybody healing a little bit, which has actually been really nice to get reconnected with them, because it's been years since I've seen many of them. So especially at this time of year, really good to be around a lot of love. And I wanted to take a minute and talk a little bit of an extension of what my family's been through, because it affects many, many families. And as I've been talking to advisors at conferences over the last few months, I've come to realize that I think one of the biggest blind spots in people's planning, and something we're going to be focusing on in 2025, I've talked to Ryan and Carolina about this and how I really want this to be a focus in the new year with everyone. But I think one of the biggest blind spots in everyone's planning, and what the next 10 years for many of us are going to be defined by, is that if you're over a certain age, one of the key things we got to focus on is who's going to look after you, as you might need a little more care, a little more support. And if you're under a certain age, the next 10 years are probably going to be very well defined by who might you have to look after. And these are kind of two sides of the same coin, but it's something that I find most people really never spend much time planning until it happens. And you've probably had that situation in your family or in a friend's family where somebody gets sick, somebody gets ill, and everything stops until you find out what to do. And most people don't know what to do. And some of it is emotional, just being prepared for that reality. Quite often it's administrative. Nobody knows where the paperwork is, or nobody knows who's in charge of what, or who has what, or who's going to pay for what. And that's the next part. It's often a financial consideration of how are we going to pay for this, or how do I take time off work for this? How does this work? So as I say, we're going to spend some time in 2025. And as I say, I made Ryan and Carolina that this is a real priority I want them to have in their planning. And when we talked to Dr. Joe Coughlin at the MIT Age Lab, one of the things he's helped us to understand is that in most families, the primary caregiver is going to be the eldest daughter or daughter-in-law, provided that they live close. So we recognize that that's likely to be something that we're going to have to go through together and understand who is the caregiver in the family going to be, is if it's going to be who's going to look after you, or as I say, who might you have to look after. So that's going to be a real focus for us in 2025. Not that there's nothing else to do, right? Like, we've had quite a year. We've got a new president in the United States who's rattling a lot of cages. We've had a bit of a mess in Canadian politics just the last couple of days. We had our finance minister resign the day she was supposed to stand up and give the fall economic statement and tell Canadians, well, oops, we spent 50% more than we told you we were going to spend, and our deficit's gigantic. So, wow, there's a lot going on. So Christian and I will be doing our year in review and year ahead video shortly. And I've asked Christian maybe to start doing some monthly short videos just to keep you updated on some of the things we're looking at and some of the work that we're doing. I've got Nick, he's going to start doing some videos, and we're going to call them Nick's Tricks, little tips and tricks for financial planning. And I think I've tried to get some other people to start doing some videos with me, but some of them are quite camera shy. We have a new office that we're going to be moving into in the spring. Right now, today, Neil and Ruby were over there measuring some things with the contractors, so I might be able to sneak over and make a little video as the construction's going on, give you a peek of what our new home is going to look like. And just lots going on the team. So a lot of good things happening. I know a lot of good things happening for many of you. And I wanted to take a minute, especially this time of year, and wish all of you a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah. And this is the time of year where, you really got to give everyone you love a hug. And as I say, I'm really grateful to my family in Halifax to be so warm and welcoming and really make me feel like I have a new home here. So thank you to all of them. Love you very much. And as I say, give a hug and a kiss to everybody that you know and you love, especially at this time of year. So this is a year of love and gratitude. And with that, I wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to wish you all a wonderful holiday and a fantastic 2025. Talk to you soon.